Though its cuisine is not as renowned as its neighbors Thailand and Vietnam, Filipino cooking is distinct. With over 7,500 islands, the cuisine of the Philippines is a mix of hundreds of local, regional, and ethnic flavors with varied influences from Chinese, Spanish, to American. Despite having a grandfather who was born and raised in the Philippines, and every Filipino says that's enough to make me Filipino, Filipino cuisine is largely a mystery to me. So on today's double feature episode of Pro Chef Reacts, we start with the most important meal of the day, Filipino breakfast, followed by the most epic dinner. Before we go on with today's episode, I do want to give a special shout out to my amazing new patron, Jeff. Thank you so much for your support. And with that said, on to the reaction. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you saw that rice? Oh man, those pancakes.
Ooh, fluffy pancakes.
Those are like picture perfect pancakes. There's nothing worse than a flat pancake, you know? But those are nice and fluffy. Are you familiar with the other plate that's over there?
Not so much. The Filipino one?
Yeah, that's a
Is that a type of sausage? That looks like pork belly, right?
Okay, so my grandfather was born and raised in the Philippines, and that's enough to have Filipino people consider me Filipino. But I am not familiar with Filipino breakfast in specific. So this is a completely new learning experience for me as well.
But I want to talk about a breakfast that isn't talked about enough, and that is the Filipino breakfast. I could go on and on about it, but I'd rather show you. So with all that being said, let's make this, shall we?
The tale of two breakfasts. One you might see at a diner where multiple fights may break out. Maybe someone throws a chair. We're talking about the American breakfast. You know, eggs, bacon, toast, hash browns, pancake. You know, triple carb scenario. Can it compete?
Yes.
Let's find out. First, let's talk about breakfast and sausage. Honestly, they're nearly impossible to mess up unless you don't watch the pan, you let it burn, and I already know there are people watching this like, oh my gosh, Josh, it's not that easy. I'm not trying to judge you, I'm just saying, you got this. Skillet, medium heat, add your bacon while the pan's still cold, keep flipping until crispy and done, and drain it on a paper towel, and that's it.
We could deviate into bacon.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a whole day.
Yeah, that can be a whole day.
So I don't even want to like touch that subject.
I will say though, if he's teaching people how to make bacon at home, starting it cold is probably the #1 tip I would give. Do not start cooking bacon in a hot pan.
Yeah.
It'll start to curl up. If you want straight bacon, I always do it in the oven, but if you're gonna do it on a pan, then start it cold.
And it's the same thing for sausage. If your sausages are raw, you can always sear them nicely on all sides, then pour in a splash of water to lightly boil them to get the internal of the sausage cooked. Once those two are done, just keep them warm. Oh, and please save your bacon
Hell
fat.
yeah.
If you throw away your bacon fat, it's like throwing away money. Is that what you like to do? You just get $5 and you're like, oh, let me crumple that up and throw it in the trash can. And I'll show you why with our hash brown.
Yes.
A single solid 10 to 12 inch hash brown, then all you need is 2 medium-sized russet potatoes. Peel them, grate them on the
it's a
coarse side of a box.
it's a hash brown.
Place that on a clean kitchen towel. None of that kitchen towel that's crusty and stiff and no one knows why. Season your potatoes generously with salt to taste, toss together, bundle up in your towel, hold over a bowl or the sink, and squeeze that into a big old ball to get as much juice out as possible.
Yes.
You know, there's nothing better than squeezing the juice out of your ball. Pop that into a bowl, add in a generous pinch of onion powder, and toss until evenly distributed. Now, heat a 10 to 12 inch cast iron skillet. This is actually enameled cast iron. Listen, a 12 inch is gonna get you a wider, more flat hash brown, whereas a 10 will get you a thick boy. Add 2 tablespoons or 23 grams of bacon fat from earlier. Follow that with 4 tablespoons or 21 grams of butter.
Yeah.
Until hot, then add in your drained potatoes, press it down.
So why is he putting in drained potatoes, Frenchy?
He's getting rid of that moisture.
Yeah, and also the quicker, you can get rid of the moisture by cooking it in the pan, but you'll have a less mushy product if you drain out that water in the beginning. Also, everything will glue together better.
Minutes, scrape underneath, flip, and he sticks the landing. Wow.
Not bad, not bad.
Others say
Not bad.
I say riscotto. Sorry about that. Anyway, cook for 46 minutes or until the other side is crisp and your potato is cooked through.
Beautiful.
That's enough hash brown for 2 to 4 people. For the pancake, simply combine in a medium-sized bowl 2 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon or 17 grams of baking powder, 2 tablespoons or 24 grams of sugar, half a teaspoon or 4 grams of fine sea salt, whisk together till combined, then add 1 3/4 cup or 355 grams of buttermilk, that's buttermilk, and 2 whole eggs. Whisk together until combined, also 2 tablespoons, yeah Josh, 2 tablespoons of stainless steel. Nice. 2 tablespoons or 24 grams of vegetable oil, not stainless steel. Medium-sized nonstick skillet. Over medium heat, grease it up. You know, you can use pan spray or just a light coating of oil. Once it's hot, add a small ladleful of your batter in the pan, spread it out a little, cook for a couple minutes until halfway set, flip and repeat on the other side.
There we go.
3 minutes per side. Add that to a plate and repeat with all of your batter.
I love
Frying eggs
pancakes.
seems to scare people. Listen, Papa's got you. Papa's got Heat 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil or olive oil in a nonstick pan. Heat over medium until very hot. Crack in no more than about 3 eggs at a time.
Wait. Why do you use vegetable? Why don't you just go back to his bacon fat?
Oh, yeah, you could have.
Butter.
Could have.
And once the white begins to set, baste the hot oil on the uncooked white. Once puffed and the white is fully cooked and the yolk is still runny, it's done. I'd say 1 to 2 eggs per plate.
Usually, sometimes you want to cook the top, and what you do is you put a drop of water in there, and then you cover it.
Yep.
But what I like to do is add like red wine vinegar and let that steam, and the taste of the vinegar when it reduces. Ooh, did you see that?
Yes, I saw.
It just gives it that acidity to the eggs.
Really?
I love that.
Okay.
That's something my grandfather taught me.
Interesting. Okay.
And it gives it that pink color.
The pink, all right. I'm not sold, personally. I would try it, but that vinegar flavor is the one thing about poached eggs I don't like.
Oh, you
that
don't?
I don't like.
Oh, I love it.
Serving this is simple. Load up your plate like you're looking at a Denny's.
Hell yeah.
And step aside because a new challenger has
Brown.
appeared.
Let's call the brown plate.
Brown
First, we
plate.
begin with
Brown
Sisig,
plate.
which is kind of like bacon if it was born in the Philippines and low-key bitter. You'll need 2.5 pounds and 1.1 kilos of pork Boston butt. Do not trim it, okay? You want the fat. Slice it thinly. Then in a bowl, you're gonna combine half a cup or 80 grams of light brown sugar, 4.5 tablespoons or 65 grams of pineapple juice.
Okay,
1 tablespoon or
I'm
11
sold.
grams of kosher salt. 2 tablespoons
sold.
or 32 grams of rice vinegar. 2 tablespoons or 32 grams of soy sauce. 3
Yeah, he's
cloves of
doing
garlic
barbecue.
grated, season lightly to taste with salt. Mix it together, and optionally, but many do this, add 2 drops of red food
It's
coloring
like a
to get
quick
that
fix
extra
barbecue.
red.
This is reminiscent of like Chinese char siu, especially when he added the red food coloring.
Say that 10 times fast.
Add your pork and toss to coat. Then just let that marinate in the fridge for 3 days before cooking. You can do 24 hours, but it's specifically noted that 3 days is the tradition. Now you're gonna cook it exactly like you do with bacon. Granted, it's gonna look a little different, but medium heat, add it to a cold pan, and constantly flip until you get some nice dark colors.
Oh man, breakfast sandwich with that.
Oh, yes.
This is mostly fresh meat. You can and should get a little char on it. You won't.
Yeah.
Think of this more like a bacon steak. Also, a lot of the crew kept calling this Totinos, and now I understand why you all judge my pronunciation so often, so thank you for that. Moving on to what looks like may just be breakfast sausage, but no. This is the sausage. Period. Sure, they may not always be long, but they taste great. Keep your mind out of the gutter. So you'll need about 2 3/4 pounds or 1.2 kilos of ground pork. You want the fattiest stuff you can find.
Hell
Mine here was
yeah.
ground fresh, and it's 60% lean, so it's real fatty, brother. To your ground pork, add 5 teaspoons or 11 grams of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons or 5 grams of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of freshly ground black pepper, 3 tablespoons or 48 grams of soy sauce. Listen, if you're making this recipe, Silver Swan, gonna be what you want to use. 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of white distilled vinegar, mixed together thoroughly, plus 1 tablespoon or 94
Vinegar.
grams of dark brown
Vinegar.
sugar and 12 cloves of
That's a
garlic
nice touch.
grated. Please don't try to be a silly little goose and put anything less than 12 cloves of garlic, okay? It's either
Hell
12
yeah.
cloves or more.
Remember the pork adobo that Andy Cooks made? The amount of garlic he put in there,
yes.
and then even our bao bun. I should put a ton of garlic in that.
Mix that bad boy together, and well, sure, you can add this to some sausage casings, but I know that not everyone has a sausage stuffer, so here's a secret method for links. Simply add enough ground meat to a
Yes!
sheet of parchment, so when it's rolled up into a
I
sausage,
love
it's
this.
about a half an inch thick. Get it into a sausage shape as best you can, reaching almost the width of your parchment, then tightly roll up the parchment to hold its shape, roll it all the way up, and boom.
Actually, there's a
evenly
better way.
sized cylinder.
But you do exactly what he did, but you put it all in the middle, and you fold over your paper, and then with the sheet pan, squeeze it, and it becomes perfect.
Yes.
Repeat with all of your meat in individual sheets and place in the freezer as you work. You're just gonna want to chill this for about 15 to 20 minutes before using. Cut it into 3 evenly sized pieces. These are actually not that even. That could have been much better. Don't do that. Unroll it, and you can cook these the exact same way that you did the breakfast sausage from the American version. Do be aware that these char pretty quickly, so fluctuate the temperature as needed. Anyway, once you've cooked that on a medium to medium low pan, flipping constantly, you're met with a perfectly cooked longanisa. Repeat
Nice.
with all of
Oh.
your sausage.
That's what that is? Okay, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
To me, this fried rice is
Oh,
it's way
garlic
too
rice. This is God's gift to the earth.
And it's not only the easiest fried rice that there is, but it's the backbone of what makes this breakfast special. So no pressure. First, you need to peel and mince 15 cloves of garlic. You already know the Filipino version knows what the is up, considering the sheer amount of garlic. You're also going to need 4 cups or 560 grams of cooked rice, which has been chilled overnight in the fridge. I've said it before, you use fresh cooked hot rice in fried rice, then you're going to make me sob uncontrollably for hours.
We've
just
done
please
this.
Don't do that. Heat 4.5 tablespoons or 54 grams of vegetable oil in a large wok over medium-low heat, and before it starts to get hot, immediately add 3/4 of your minced garlic. Let that come up to heat. It'll begin gently cooking, and then a light fry, and you're just going to constantly stir that for 2 to 4 minutes until the garlic is toasted to a light
Oh yeah.
brown.
Golden
Strain your garlic
brown.
out into a
Beautiful.
paper towel and set aside about a quarter of that crispy garlic to use as garnish later. Add the garlic oil back to your wok. Heat that bad boy over high heat. Add in your rice. Season generously with salt to taste. I guess you could add a little MSG if you want. Toss and stir fry constantly until your rice is heated through and you got a few crispy boys in there. Now add your fried garlic back, not including the reserved amount you sent to the side. Again, taste for salt levels, adjust as needed. Toss to fully incorporate everything. Cut off the heat. Add your remaining raw garlic. Toss until evenly distributed. And now you have a double purpose garlic fried rice.
Hell yeah.
Both raw and fried.
So I wasn't anticipating the raw garlic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
this-
It's a nice. You get both. Flavors in there.
Combining their powers to create something truly special. Now pop that bad boy onto a plate, add on all your elements. Tocino, longanisa, fried eggs, garnish that rice with some thinly sliced green onions.
Oh, you gotta have your vegetables. Gotta have your vegetables. Yeah, Asians, you gotta have your vegetables with all your meal.
We have 2 gorgeous breakfasts and only 1 winner. Enough talk, let's taste.
So what do you think?
I want the Filipino.
Yeah, I want the Filipino one too. Holy.
First, the American, we get a little hash brown, maybe a little bit of bacon. Look, if you've ever been to Denny's, it's like that, but on crack. It's great. The pancake, I mean, it's everything you want. I want to introduce you to something special. Garlic fried rice should be a part of every healthy start to the day. I'm in another plane of existence. This has depth. It's garlicky, it's savory, but it's also simple. I can eat this whole thing of rice and I'm gonna probably feel good. Now moving on, longanisa. Made from scratch. I'm not gonna lie, it's very garlicky. It's sweet, it's salty, it's got that umami. Hey, tocino. Unless you got a really good bacon, this is a step above. This to me is more exciting. I'm gonna dream about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that was sick.
That was awesome.
So
I'm
your
hungry.
introduction to Filipino food. Make sure you guys watch to the end because I'm gonna take Frenchy to eat Filipino food after this.
But again, breakfast like that, that's what breakfast was like all across the world.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
just
I think only Americans introduced sugar.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about France though? Well, France is more like a pastry, right? Like
No,
no.
no.
Oh no.
No.
Breakfast? No.
Breakfast was a meal.
I hope you enjoyed that video because we have
did.
another one.
I did. We're doing another one?
Yes, we're doing another one because we watched something good. Means we're gonna watch something by Jamie Oliver. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. There's no Jamie Oliver. Today is a double feature good video.
Sisig is the street food dish in the Philippines. Traditional sisig is made out of chopped pork with calamansi juice, chilies, onion, a little bit of garlic, and soy. It hits all notes
What
in the
the
Filipino palate.
fuck is this?
Dude, yeah. This is what we're gonna go eat after this. Yes, I'm taking you for dinner later. I f***ing knew you'd love it.
Sisig originated in Pampanga, which is the culinary capital of the Philippines. Traditional sisig from Pampanga is made with pork belly and pork mask, mascara as we call it. So we're gonna start by cutting up this pig mask here to make the cooking time quicker. So using a pig mask adds a lot of texture
Pig mask,
into
face.
sisig.
The face.
It definitely has
Oh,
this
yeah.
beautiful, succulent, fatty texture that you cannot get from any other protein. And now we're gonna blowtorch this and then remove any hairs that are still evident in it. So here we've cut the pork belly into your desired size, and then we're gonna braise it separately with the same aromatics, but into 2 different pots. So here are aromatics. These are aromatics for both the pork face and pork belly. We have bay leaves here, black
Hell yeah.
peppercorns, 2 Spanish onions, and half a bulb of garlic, and then we cover with water. Turn the heat on into medium-low, and then we cover with a lid. So this will cook for approximately 1 hour and a half. And now here on this side, we have our pork belly, same aromatics, and then water. Turn the flame on again to medium-low. This one will cook a lot faster. So we're simmering for about 1 hour. And in the meantime, we're gonna get all our vegetables and aromatics ready for the sisig mixture. First ingredient here is calamansi, which for me is one of the most
Hell
important
yeah.
ingredients of the
One
recipe.
of. Have you ever had calamansi? It is. Yeah.
I
There
don't
we
think
go.
I've had one of those.
Yeah, yeah. It's an unreal flavor. I
Why are
absolutely.
we not using these?
I don't actually. Good question. I don't know why it's not more widely
Lime
used.
tangerine?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That's
Like having iced calamansi juice in the summer is divine. I remember the first time I had it, my mind was blown up.
We're gonna probably use 3 tablespoons of calamansi.
dude, I have to
We're
remember
gonna
that.
dice the garlic. You can never have too much garlic in sisig. It's much easier. to
That and
crush
butter, my
garlic
friend.
with the sugar. We're gonna mince this garlic.
Oh yeah, look at them skills.
We're gonna
Good
small
shit.
dice this onion. So the onions eventually would add like a little bit of crisp and sweetness later on to our sisig dish. So we have all our aromatics done here and ready to go. Let's set this aside. Let's get back to the pork. We're gonna be checking up on the pig mascara. So now it's tender, we're gonna remove it and we'll set this aside and cool it down in the refrigerator. So our pork mash is cooled off. We all have different portions here. So we're gonna cut it into similar thinness so we can grill it all evenly.
He's constantly throwing in these little bits of attention to detail. You know, that's how you tell a chef from a home cook.
The grill is smoking hot. So we're gonna get this on right now. Skin side down first. Because if you put the fat side down right now, it's gonna smoke up this room. The reason why we're grilling this is because it's much easier to work with after grilling, and number two, it imparts this really smoky flavor to the sisig. This is exactly how
I am
my family
obsessed
used to
with
make
this.
it in the.
What's up?
I'm obsessed with this.
You're obsessed with it? You like it?
This is maybe my favorite video ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big statement here on Pro Chef Reacts.
This step in the seasoning process is very, very important. You need to dry out the pork face. It's because of the gelatinous texture from the cartilage.
So one thing I love to do with my braises is throw in a couple pig ears for that extra gelatinous texture, you know?
That's the whole point of doing this, because you don't want to end up with a really gummy, wet, and gross like sisig. So we're starting to get there. We're achieving char. So I'm gonna flip these guys over. My favorite piece is the cheek and also the snout because they're much fattier. They have like a really, really good texture and flavor in my opinion. So the pig piece is all done. Now
Look at how smoky the room is.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Oh, it's like how you made Guga's room when you were doing the flambe episode. You remember that? Check out that episode here.
I was also still blind.
Yeah, fresh off your surgery, right?
Now we're gonna cool this off for about an hour or just until it's cold, and then we'll move on to the pork belly. Pig face is cooled down, now let's dice it. I'm gonna start up with my favorite part, the cheek. Ooh, oh my God.
Oh, I love
So
pork
good.
jowl.
Hear that crunch? Ooh, I already know it's gonna be good. It's a pretty laborious job to make sisig.
It's
But
worth
I
it.
would tell you that all this labor that we're doing right now,
So worth
definitely
it.
worth it. Our pork belly is done. I'm gonna take them out, set them in a sheet tray here with a rack. We're gonna season it with salt, like a good amount of salt. So when we pop it in the oven, it's gonna dry out the skin and make it crispy. We're gonna pop this into a 350-degree oven for 1 hour and 20 minutes until the pork is dry. The pork belly is out of the oven and cooled off. We're gonna cut off a little piece here because we're gonna make this into little chicharrones on top of our sisig later. Now we're gonna deep fry. You need to make sure that it's pat down dry before you drop it in here because it may explode. So just be very, very careful. Lay it in there gently. And so.
Cute.
Right, we're gonna deep fry this for about 10 minutes. While this is happening, we're gonna cut our leftover pork belly into small pieces for our chicharron later on. I'm gonna set this aside. See how beautiful it's getting right now. So we're getting there.
Wow.
Almost 10 minutes are up. That's all ready. Drop that in.
That is a labor of love.
Everything that goes out
There's
of the fryer.
so many. It's a combination of so many good recipes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Beautiful.
there's so many recipes that are being combined.
Yeah. Like the best parts of so many things. Ugh, love it.
Rule of thumb, season with salt.
Always.
Oh, and do it when it comes out hot
So it sticks.
so it sticks. Yes.
Now we're gonna deep fry our chicharron. Sisig basically has like multiple preparations of pork. There's grilled pig face, deep fried pork belly, pork cracklings, and then you put it all together. Basically, it's like the ultimate pork dish for me. All different textures and flavors put together. Our chicharron's ready, so now we're gonna add some salt to it.
Dude.
Our pork belly is now cooled off. We're gonna take this pork belly, chop it up Morimoto style.
Hell to the yeah.
So you see that crunch?
Yes,
That's
I
what you
do.
want.
I'm rolling. Oh.
It's like so many of my favorites come in one dish.
Before we cook the fried rice, we're gonna season our wok.
Oh, he's making garlic fried
Put
rice.
salt in. So when you season the wok, it cleans the wok. At the same time, it also imparts more flavor into the food. So we're gonna use a whisk. Normally this is used with a brush, with a Chinese brush, with like a bamboo brush. We don't have that right now, so we're using a whisk to do that. Stump that out.
Or if you're not afraid, just double fold some paper towels and
Little
just
bit of
rub it
oil.
in. Actually, no, because if you don't want, sometimes if you don't do it right, the paper towel will.
Yeah, kind of
So
disintegrate.
maybe like a kitchen towel that's clean that you don't care about.
Yeah.
How about this butter?
Woo!
I know that looks like a lot.
This truly is a dish meant for you, Frenchy.
Oh my God.
The whole time I was saying to myself, all this dish is missing is butter, and it will truly be complete for you.
Oh my
Half
God.
of that garlic in there. All right. So we're gonna get that butter to go brown a little bit. So now we're gonna add your rice. All right. We're gonna season it with some of our magic seasoning. The mushroom
that?
seasoning is not very traditional. I just feel like, it's an organic.
You know what?
MSG.
You do you, baby, because that I don't care. It's Go for it.
Dehydrated mushrooms and salt, and it adds like an umami flavor. Filipino fried rice is super simple, just because Filipino food already has a lot of flavor already in it, so you don't want like an overpowering rice to go with that. Fried rice is done, right? So that's why you season a wok. See, nothing sticks, nothing left.
Beautiful.
It's time to put everything together. We got our ingredients set aside here. So put all of our pork belly in, some of our pig face. So put a little bit of onion in,
Oh,
a little bit of garlic,
oh,
a little bit of soy sauce.
Hell
This one
yeah.
is Datu Puti soy sauce. It's a Filipino soy sauce that you can get in any Filipino or Asian market.
Datu Puti?
Anything
QP.
that uses soy
yeah,
Could be
sauce.
it's
mayo.
Kewpie, yeah.
We're gonna use some of our calamansi juice as well.
Yes. That's
Then
I love the
a little bit of
acidity.
your magic mushroom seasoning, a touch of salt. So nor is kind of like soy sauce, but also kind of different in the way.
Oh,
It
no,
has
no,
a little
it's-
bit more umami.
it's deeper.
A little bit more sugar. It is very traditional to using for sisig.
the-
Traditionally in Pampanga, sisig started
No,
off,
it's German, right?
by using.
What was that?
Nor is German.
Believe so. Let us know in the comments below.
They used to take the pig brains, pulse it with a little bit of garlic, and then fold it into the sisig. But because I don't like using pig brain, that's why we use mayonnaise. I like using Kewpie mayonnaise.
Oh, he's saying that we use the pig brain as the
Yeah, as the creamy texture.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people are going, oh, but
Yeah.
no way.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I think you found a new love.
You can use Hellmann's or whatever brand of mayo you like. What the mayo does also
But I love
binds
the
whole
love the
sisig
mayo,
together
you
with
know
the
that.
Yeah.
Don't forget our black pepper. All right. So we're gonna mix this baby up. I already know this is probably gonna be one of the best sisigs I've ever made.
Oh, I know it is.
So we have our platter heated up. We're gonna put the butter in, the sisig
What?
mixture.
More? Hell yeah!
Right? Crack the egg in. You can have sisig without an egg, but growing up, this is how it's taught. Add some of the green onions, Spanish onions, some of the chilies. I like it spicy. If you don't have green, you can use red. And then we'll put the little bit of chicharron here.
What
on
the
top. And then our beautiful calamansi here. There you go. And this here is traditional Kapampangan sisig.
Okay, give me a big spoon and walk the fuck away. Because I'm eating all of that.
Hell yeah!
This is the best video you've shown me.
Woo!
This is how we do it in the Philippines.
Oh my god!
All crusted up. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Goddamn good.
Are you excited for dinner later?
This
Dude,
is the best
yes.
sisig I've ever had. The meatiness, the fattiness from the pig face, the
Oh
sourness
my
from the
God,
calamansi,
yeah. Oh
the
my
soy sauce,
God.
everything just comes together with the garlic fried rice.
Yeah, but you're not
Another
gonna find a
Just
place
reminds me of my
that's
childhood.
gonna do it as good as this.
If you've never had sisig before, I think you should try it.
I've never seen you so like moved. I can tell you're moved.
Oh.
It's like reaching into the depths of your
When you showed me just a glimpse of the finished dish,
Yeah.
I was like, I recognized all the textures
Yeah.
in like a split second.
Yeah.
My instinct, I became a chef there in like a split second.
Yeah.
I was like, I want this so bad.
Well, I'm glad every now and then I can make you happy, buddy.
Oh,
Are you ready for dinner? Before we close out this episode, I do want to say to all of my amazing patrons, thank you so much for your support. I really couldn't do this without your help. And for the rest of you, please consider becoming a patron by visiting the link in the description below. By becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes and patron exclusive content. Okay, we're gonna go get dinner. Guys, hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did making it. Remember, it always gets better.
Finish your plate.
And with that said, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. I'm enthralled.
Dinner time.